Dottie? Just give me the thumbs up if you're ready.
Say that again.
What?
I had us on mute, we were on mute.
Oh, sorry. Dottie, you if you can just give it the thumbs up.
There
we go.
There it is. All right, my cell phone says that it's 7:01, so we'll call this meeting to order. Today is Thursday, October 19. First item on the agenda is call to order and roll call. The record will show that 4 of us are here. Rob Mann did text me today. He said he can't join us. And Larry Gillott, we haven't heard from him, but we're assuming if we're not seeing him, that means we probably won't. Maybe he'll show up later, but he's not here now. So 4 of us makes a quorum. And so that takes care of item 1. Then we'll go on to item 2, which is approval of minutes for September 21st, 2023. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve those minutes? Rob Rich has the motion.
Second.
Steve has the second. Any changes to those minutes? Any changes to those minutes? Okay, then hearing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? All right, that carries 4-0. And again, that's the September 21st minutes. We'll move on to correspondence. Tax collector, September report, and town planner invitation to 65 Main Street redevelopment workshop. Anything else come in that that's not captured here? Anything else come in?
Did you send a notice out about the other workshop next Thursday?
I didn't, I was gonna mention
Oh.
it, but I did mention in my last selectmen's update too,
Right.
to the board.
Okay,
So
I-
next Thursday, yep.
Okay,
I had it in my calendar, but I don't recall if we got a notice.
all right, but that wouldn't no, that wouldn't be correspondence.
No,
Any other correspondence that came in that we didn't capture? Hearing none, we'll move on to citizens' comments. Is there any citizen who has a comment at this time? Any citizen in the room who has a comment at this time?
Yes,
If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Sean Brissett, Old Davis Road, Thompson. The years that I've been coming, bugging you.
Cheers.
very nice.
So, it's been a pleasure. You've served the town very well. You should be proud.
Thank you.
Enjoy taking some time off.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other citizens' comments? Anyone on the Zoom? Citizens' comments on the Zoom? Okay, last chance, citizens' comments in the room. Citizens' comments on the Zoom. Okay, thank you. We'll move on. Selectmen's update. First selectman, Amy St. Ange. Welcome, Amy.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Erin, thank you for your service to the town.
Pleasure.
You will be missed as chair. You've done a great job, so
Thank you.
there will be a void. Let me think. I can't remember if I announced, but you all know that we received the $500,000 for the school track project, which was great. We did fail to receive the Community Investment Fund grant. That was the $3.88 million grant that we applied for the reconstruction of Main Street and a few other jobs within this vicinity in town. It is up. We got a second round coming. It's due in December, so fingers crossed that Tier is able to secure that, because that's going to be a big thing for economic development here in Thompson. So it includes the finishing part of the 65 Main project. It includes some redesign of Oscar Swanson Park to make it more of a reflective park, honoring our veterans and those who have lost their lives and who have served in military conflicts. And then, of course, the largest part of it includes the full reconstruction of the Main Street area, sidewalks, roadways, some disconnection of some of the outfalls that go into the river directly. Those will be all disconnected. So it's a really important and a major project for the town of Thompson.
You said 3.8 million?
3.88 million was the total cost of the project. So sidewalks can be very, very pricey. I don't have a ton to report. As Dave had mentioned, don't forget this coming Thursday, so a week from tonight, 7 p.m. at the Library Community Center, there will be a presentation from Beta Corp, and it's BETA. Dottie, I think you had Data Corp. Beta Corp, they did the analysis of all our roadways, and they're going to be presenting a pavement management program. that the town can choose to follow in some areas. I mean, obviously things come up and that changes what we can and can't do in any given year, but they'll give us some projected costs on what we should be putting aside year after year to make sure that our roads are up to par. Additionally, there's a software program that's associated with that. It's a cloud-based software. We are currently working with Beta to upgrade the roads that we've done in the system. So that'll give a truer picture of where we stand. Once the roads that we did this past construction season are entered into the software. We received a new 9-ton pickup truck, not pickup truck, a 9-ton dump truck, plow with a Henke snow plow. We received that finally, $250,000. It's much more than a pickup truck. That finally landed. We've ordered the second one that was appropriated for this past year. It's anticipated to get here much earlier than the last one. The projected date is April. So we are reaching out to financing to make sure that things are in place and we've secured some financing rates for April. I didn't tell you about that. I just found that out today. And I think that's pretty much it. There's not a heck of a lot else that I can share. We did move forward. The Board of Selectmen back on June 6th had decided, had agreed along with the fire departments, they had inputted on it as well, that we are, you've probably heard, researching a fire protection district. The bylaws, the draft bylaws have been created. Those bylaws are going to be shared with the chiefs, and we hope to do a public presentation within the next month to make a determination of whether we go in this direction or not. Ultimately, town meeting is needed to approve such a measure, and yeah, we'll see how that evolves. That's an important new initiative for our fire departments that will ensure that they're funded properly in the future, and that there's not only autonomy for the fire departments, but accountability to the taxpayers. And that's the ultimate goal from all of this. So that's what I have.
Questions for the first selectman?
Questions from the audience.
Questions from the audience?
Is it gonna be Zoomed? Yeah. The Thursday thing that you.
I'm gonna make sure that it's recorded. If it's not Zoomed, it'll be live streamed.
Awesome.
So there will be a recording of it for everybody. Absolutely.
Okay, thank
Alright.
you.
Thank you very much.
School district update, Superintendent of Schools, Melinda Smith. Welcome, Melinda.
Welcome, everybody. Aaron, I would also like to say thank you on behalf of the members of the Board of Education and myself for the 7 years that I've been here. You've been wonderful to work with. So always professional and always helpful. So thank you so much. I'd like to thank Steve Herbert and obviously Kathleen for coming to the ribbon cutting ceremony for our culinary arts program. Amy was there as well. And our career pathway tour of our high school. It was a great day for Thompson Public Schools. We actually had the Deputy Commissioner of Education with us. We also had the Chief Academic Officer, the Career Pathway Supervisor, and then also our liaison as being part of an Alliance and Opportunity District who monitors our school progress. And so all four came from the Department of Ed. We had a good showing from our friends at Dave Kimball, Kyle Kramer and his team, and then lots of board members and teachers and students, and it was just a grand day to open up our high school and show off the new culinary arts, but also highlight those career pathways that we've been facilitating over the last couple of years. So I thank everybody for coming. In addition, I want to thank Rob Wurge for participating as a member of the teacher union contract negotiations. Right now, we did reach a settlement. It's going to be ratified by the staff and then come to the Board of Ed for final approval before it moves on to the Selectmen's office. So thank you, Rob, staying till 1 o'clock in the morning. So appreciate it. Our enrollment currently at Marriott Fisher is 381 students. There are 270 at the middle school, 215 at the high school, for a grand total of 867 students. That's up from 2 students from last month, which was at 865. We currently have 22 students out of district. However, I did hear today that number may increase. You know that out of district placement numbers are a day-to-day fluctuation depending on people moving in and out of the district and students qualifying for a more restricted setting. So we are really happy to announce, and if you saw the news today, Governor Lamont announced that there are 46 districts in the state that received a high dosage tutoring grant for students in grades 6 through 9. Thompson received the full amount that we requested of $282,000. This is a game changer for students in grades 6 through 9. As everyone knows, COVID, our transient population, chronic absenteeism, all those things together have created some significant gaps in learning in mathematics. This program is going to allow an outside company to provide in-house during the school day intensive tutoring in small groups of 4 or less, 3 times a week for 30 minutes from January to June, and then again pick up again from September to January. And the goal is to close the learning gap and make our overall student achievement in mathematics go up. So I believe for Thompson Public Schools, this is a game changer. And I can't wait. We've been planning since we heard last week on getting that up and going. We have some parent meetings scheduled. Letters are going to go out to those qualifying students. This will impact 189 students that currently have a gap in their learning. So it's a big deal for us. We are also working on a collaborative grant, a $33,000 grant from the government for the team actually wanted to really focus on bullying and harassment. The grant needs to be spread over 3 years, and each school has an allocation of about $11,000, and they are working collaboratively to bring some programs in, some activities, but really to reinforce kindness in our schools and really change the climate and culture around getting rid of bullying and harassment issues that happen frequently, especially at the middle and high school level. The one thing we have increased in our town is at the end of last year, I think you knew through a budget process, we added a half-time English language learner teacher. First time since I've been here that we needed to address that population of students. At that time, we had 10 students that needed services. Since the summer and up till now, we currently have 16 students with 6 different languages. And so by federal law, we have to provide services similar to special education. And so we are going to have to increase that staff member's time, which is unbudgeted, to full-time. I did do a Hail Mary and put most of the position costs into a grant. And the board is well aware of this, if the grant doesn't cover it, then we will have an unbudgeted mandated expense. So, but know that we're starting to experience an increase in our students that need ELL services. Putnam has 2 full-time ELL teachers, so you can see that we're starting to see that population of folks, which is great for culture building, but it also means that there's service delivery that must happen. And so and the final thing is that Bill Birch and I are working on the HVAC grant. The window opened for us to apply for that grant. It's due by the December 31st. We went on a webinar just last week to find out if there were some changes in the grant application. There are a few. I think they'll talk to you, Amy, about a couple of things. But we are positioned we want to get that all submitted by November. So that's where we're at. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for the superintendent?
I'll say thank you for the career day. You don't have to thank us. That was eye-opening. It really was. It was really great. It was super great. I happened to be in the little section that was in the CNA program when the Dave Kimball people were there, and their comment was they want to hire everybody who was in the program. So it works. It seems like it works. Of course, it's new. I was very impressed. I'm just super impressed. Thank you so much for doing that. It's really great. On the English as a English language learner program, that increase going to full-time, what is their approximate the additional cost is?
41,000, yeah. So in the Title I grant, we did get a little higher allocation this year, probably based on last year's numbers. And there was $32,000 increase, so I threw a Hail Mary in there and see if they'll support that under Title I. We're keeping our fingers crossed that they do.
The 230 grant for the math tutoring. Is that something that had been budgeted but cut, or is this incremental to the original budget plan? In other words, does it help fill the loss?
So this is a whole new.
It's a whole new program. Okay.
Here from the Department of Ed, where you would hire an outside tutoring company
Okay.
to come in and provide those services during the school day for students. So they'll be pulled out of class in small group, get that high dose tutoring 3 times a week, in addition to obviously the classroom instruction they're getting from our teachers. But it just gives them a real shot in the arm to close that gap. But they recommended 16 vendors. We chose Catapult Learning. And we're so far pretty pleased with that vendor. They may have to employ up to 20 to 25 tutors to accommodate all our teachers.
Right.
But it's an amazing opportunity for Thompson kids.
Sure.
Yeah. I hope our parents, embrace it and allow us to, we're gonna have to change some student schedules to make sure they're working with the tutors. So I really hope our parents take us up on that and allow that to happen.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the superintendent? Thank you so much. So move on to financial report, Finance Director, William Stiglitz.
A brief word of thanks to Aaron and Rob. When I took this position, it was really great to see 2 guys that I actually grew up with and count as friends serving on this commission, on this board. It was welcoming. It helped me get comfortable right away. I appreciate your service and frankly, the professionalism you guys brought to it. There are differing views on this board, and I always admire the professionalism that is brought to the task and that kind of commitment to the mission. So thanks. So through September, property tax wise, we're at 56% of budget, which Reenie's pretty happy with and right on track. Current tax collections a little higher than that at 58%. Collections of prior year a little lower at 37%. Interest in liens 68%, and the motor vehicle supplement will not be billed until I believe it's January. State and federal grants, the number looked at first when I ran the reports looked a little alarmingly low, but I'm pleased to report that after the cutoff for this report, we've received the 3 Rose pilot, which was about $17,000, and we've also received some municipal revenue sharing funds. So next month's report will be more favorable in the state and federal grant line. Local revenue continues to benefit from the $238,000 in reimbursement from the school security gate project. And investment income is still chugging along. So we're at, several times our projected budget there at 75K. So that's great news. On the expense side, we're at 4.0 million committed, 46% of the expense budget. As you guys know, all fire department grants have been paid. And there is one open item in this that I'm investigating. You probably noticed that the town council line is actually over budget, and that didn't make any sense at all. So when I drilled into the numbers behind that, there appears to be somehow there is an encumbrance in there that's duplicated of $20,000. So that I checked with Amy on that today, and there's some type of hiccup going on in Munis. So that will be out of there next time around, and that line will drop. Just a couple other items in support of hopefully success with the HVAC grant. I've already reached out to our municipal advisors and our bond counsel to start to tee up financing. And we're exploring some options there. I have a meeting with Attorney Rybacki, who took Judith Blank's position. She's retired. So we have a new bond counsel attorney. So I'm meeting with him on the 30th. Actually, I bumped that out to the other side of the audit, which brings me to the next point. The auditors are here next week. They'll be here on site at the town hall, probably Wednesday and Thursday, and up at the school on Friday. We're on track there in terms of satisfying their schedule requests. We got them the trial balances on time. They like to get them 2 weeks ahead of time. They've had them on the due date. And we're uploading stuff like crazy to their portal. Everybody's been great and on the finance team in terms of pulling materials and finding support. There is one new accounting standard about software. I won't bore you with that, but that's a sort of an additional request this year, but we have it under control.
Questions for the finance director? Questions?
I had a question and a comment. The question is, did you review last year's findings and do you feel like those have been satisfied?
Yes.
As we go into this
Yeah,
year?
we did review them as a finance team actually coming into them.
That's
I think we're going to be clear on all of them. So, and obviously the final determination is with the auditors, but it's something that we sort of chipped away at over the course of the year.
That's great. There's a tendency to wait till the last 30 or 60 days to
Right.
run in the ground, so that's great. And auditors will find something else.
Yes.
That's why they come in.
By the auditors.
And I know the fixed assets were one of those, and that's been something
Right.
that I've mentioned over the years, so,
Right.
okay.
Yep.
And just my comment was a little bit back at you in terms of the professionalism. One of the things I appreciate is, and is a mark of a good finance person, is to anticipate questions. So oftentimes there aren't questions because I have them and you answer them in your report. Thank you as well. Good. That's all I got.
Any other questions for the finance director? Okay, we'll move on to Turtle Up Fund update, board of trustees. If there's anyone who can speak on that, they're certainly welcome to do so.
You really don't have anything new to report there. I actually haven't had a chance to look at the most recent numbers. Things were trending in the right direction. But I'll have more details next time around.
That's fine. Everybody's okay with moving on then?
Yep.
All right, so we'll move on to new business, proposed Board of Finance 2024 meeting calendar. This is what Dottie sent around. And of course, do you want
I will not be here on Thursday, August 57th.
No, I couldn't make it either.
good point. 57. It must be the 17th or something.
15th, I think.
15th it is,
That's
yes.
the August meeting we skipped.
So that means we can go ahead and vote yes on this because
In November. The only other comment about this is, I think last year we actually scheduled some Tuesday meeting. You don't have to have them, but if you schedule them, you'd avoid having to have a special meeting. If you have a regular meeting instead of a special meeting, you can bring up stuff. Not that we necessarily will, but it allows us to bring up stuff that's not specifically on the agenda. It's not a big deal, but doesn't hurt either. So
you mean
the Tuesdays.
Tuesday during budget season?
Yeah, just, yeah, I'm sorry, just during budget season, maybe
That's
just
right.
for the April.
If you just, as you get closer to the deadline, you never know if you're gonna need some extra time.
Yeah, and again, it's not a big deal, but it's a little bit of a tweak to help those meetings are a little bit better
Do
potentially.
you want to put those on now or wait until the time comes?
No, if we put them on now, that way it's not a special meeting, it'll be a regular meeting, and then you could bring up stuff that for some reason popped up at the
So
meeting.
does
you
somebody
didn't-
have a calendar? Do they know? what-
Sure, just take 2 days off of April 4th, make it the 2nd, April 11, make it also the 9th.
We
no.
need 4 of them, Steve? or could we just-
Well, again, again, you can cancel them easily is my thought, but yeah, you don't need 4, probably just the last 2
So
would
you're
be plenty.
talking 9 and 16, April 9 and 16?
9, 16 and maybe 23, I don't know.
9, 16.
We're running, I was gonna ask the question about April 25th. Is that too late?
We can think about that.
You raise a good point. It might be too late, but then I guess we could,
Who can
You-
use
you
it?
could
for
always
one of
cancel the
Steve's
meeting.
meetings?
that's the thing, it's right. I won't be able to. I don't have the power to do stuff. But, you can put it on you can just put them all on the calendar and then if you don't use it, you don't use it.
You can cancel it, right?
Yeah.
You can't add it. You can't add it unless it's on the schedule.
Well, you could add it as a
Well,
special.
You can add it as a
Yeah,
special, you can't add it as a regular meeting. That's
But
correct.
if you want it to be a regular, then you're gonna, you raise a good point.
It's
Put it
not a
on
big
now.
deal, but
Want to add 16 and
So
23?
We could add
or
16,
9 and
19,
16?
23. So then it's,
Add three, all
So-
three, why not?
so then it's, in April,
Not
it would be 4, 9, 11, 16, 18, 23, 25.
4, 9, 11.
4, 9, 11, 16, 18, 23, 25. Does that sound about right? And so I'll say it one more time, just for anyone who's checking their calendar now. Ready?
Yep.
So that's April 4, 9, 11, 16, 18, 23, 25.
And August 15th.
You won't be there.
No.
A tradition will live on.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's it. That's why we end up putting more dates on in the end. It's because if you hold it till 9 PM, then you may have to do a few more meetings, but at least then you don't wake up feeling like The Walking Dead the next morning.
There's a theory in operations that work expands to fill the time.
I'm a lot of, you're absolutely right.
But I support Stacy.
Oh, that's great. So then that would mean, we're adding those dates in April, and then we're changing August 57 to 15. And everything else is okay?
The only, just a question, is Juneteenth celebrated on the 19th? And does it actually impact the meeting on the 20th in any way, shape or form? Just-
Shouldn't.
It is celebrate, it's a holiday that the town hall celebrates.
Okay, it's a federal holiday, I think.
Yeah, but
On the
we're
19th.
meeting
It's
on
a
the
Connecticut
20th.
holiday,
So that
too.
should
Is it
be-
okay?
Oh, you have the
Is it-
20th? Oh,
Yeah,
then
That's
you're
right.
Yeah, but we should
Okay.
be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I just didn't know if there was,
celebrate on the
sometimes it's celebrated on a different day or carries
Well,
over.
what is the
I think
19th
it's
fall on in June?
Juneteenth.
Well,
Juneteenth is
Wednesday,
not-
19th is Wednesday.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
think
the
it's
19th is a
Juneteenth.
Wednesday, so yeah, you're
Well,
fine.
right, but it's
We'll have the
it's
19th
celebrated on the
off, but-
19th.
Okay.
I'm just checking.
Right.
Well, is it kind of like where they do observe, where there's the day, but then.
That was
federal
my
government
thought, but it was
observes
a
on
Wednesday, so
day?
I don't know what that would.
No, we always do it on the actual
On the
day.
actual day?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's the 19th.
Juneteenth.
June 19th, 2024 is Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's on the actual day, not a Monday or a Friday.
So we can keep the 20th, is that?
yeah, that was just
I
a
think
question,
it's-
is there any
I think
potential
it's safe
impact?
to keep June.
Yeah.
All right, so we've read this into the record, and then I can forward a copy to Dottie, I guess, although she's probably got it all
We,
written
we
down
probably need to
anyways.
approve it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Mhm.
Are we ready to vote on it? So, someone want to make a motion to accept the 2024 meeting schedule as amended,
I'll make that
Steve got the
motion.
motion.
I'll
Dave, you
second.
got the second. Any discussion on this?
So,
Okay, yeah, hearing none, all in favor of accepting the 2024 meeting schedule as amended, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstained? This one carries 4-0. Okay, so then I guess it means we move on away from Board of Finance 24 meeting calendar. We move to Board of Finance member comments. Any Board of Finance member have a comment at this time? Go ahead.
I would like to thank you, Aaron. It was a pleasure working with you before and now. And I wish you well in the future and
Thank you.
warn you not to make the same mistake I did.
I can't guarantee that I won't. But it has been a pleasure serving the town. It's been a pleasure working with all of you. Board of Finance members, first selectmen, finance director, Board of Ed members, past Board of Ed members, future Board of Ed members. I've learned a lot from all of you and as well as, it's probably safe to say that I speak on behalf of Rob Mann too, because he and I are both cycling off that. We've really enjoyed working with all of you. And I consider you, and I'm sure he does, I consider you my friends. And when I see you around town, I will say hello to you as my friend, because I consider all of you my friends. And when we come here, we may not always agree on everything, but that's okay. That's the way that the process is supposed to work. We're not always supposed to agree, and the most important thing is that we all understand that, so that when we do see each other out in the community, we are friends. We're truly friends. And we've been introduced to each other through this public process. And so that also is something I wanted to had a thought on public process. I'm so grateful to all of you for participating in the public process, because this is what makes our community function. This one is the closest to us, right? If we're not happy with what's going on at the federal level, you can write a letter to your member of Congress and you're probably gonna get back one of these formulas that says, thank you for contacting, right? And if you're not happy with what's going on at the state level, maybe you could find Rick Hayes and you can give him a piece of your mind when you see him at something. But for the most part, it's distant. it's removed, but at the local level, it's all right here. You can get in your car, you can drive down here, and you can participate. And sometimes when people come in, you can feel the frustration they have over the federal and the state level, and they kind of let us know, right? Because we're here. But that's okay. That's why we're here. And that's what this process is for. So I'm just so grateful to all of you for participating in this process. And I've learned a lot from you. And I also wanted to, as long as it's on record, when I became chair, Larry Gillott bought me this.
Oh.
He bought me a copy of Robert's Rules of Order. He bought me this book. And he may not be here this evening, but thank you so much, Larry. I really appreciate that. It was a very nice gesture. Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
everyone.
thank you very much.
Go ahead.
I wanted to thank you as well, because I'm here in large part because of you, and it's easy when things are easy. You get to know people when things aren't so easy. That's when people's true colors show, and we've certainly had some rough moments as a group, but we've seemed to get through them. So someone mentioned professionalism. I thank you for your guidance and your balance in this process. That's not always easy. Fully recognize that. So thank you, Aaron.
Pleasure. Thank you.
And I would also add my thanks for the years. It's been great. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but I always appreciate your listening. So thank you so much, and have a good life.
Come back.
I'm not gonna-
Yeah, but I may not be.
Oh, you'll be here. Aaron will be here. And yes, listening, I always feel like one of the things that I've always tried to adhere to is making sure people get a chance to speak. It's just so important. And what I've said to people who have asked me about my experience on the Board of Finance is I've said, if you make a vote that someone doesn't agree with, in time, they'll forgive you. But if you don't give someone a chance to speak, right, they'll remember that. They'll remember that. And so giving people an opportunity to speak is so important. And of course, the balance is giving people an opportunity to speak and still allocating enough time for us to get our work done. So you wish you could have never-ending amounts of time on both sides, but there's a balance. But just giving people that opportunity is so important. So I've always tried to.
Can I ask the last question? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Hearing, is there any other Board of Finance member comments?
I second the motion.
Okay.
Non-debatable.
I will make a motion to adjourn this meeting. And you got the second?
Yes.
So all in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? Thank you, everyone. 7:33. I don't know if that's our shortest, but I said.
Close to it.
Might be.
Close to it.
There aren't many on the side of 36.
Thank you,
Right.
everyone.
Thank you again.